אבל תעשי וידאו.
לא, תסמך.
אני נוסע, תעשי וידאו.
יש וידאו, תעוף.
תראי מה זה, על הכביש.
יהודה, אם אתה לא טס מהר אני הורגת אותך.
אנחנו בתוך האש.
לא. אז למה נותן לאנשים? היה אסון, התפוצצו. מה זה? שיעצרו אותם שמה, הנה. גם יש פה.
הנה, אותם עצרו, זהו.
לא יודעים אם יש גם אש.
לא יודע, אנחנו...
הם לא צריכים לברוח מהמכוניות.
וואו, צריכים לצאת מהמכוניות.
יהודה, עוף.
אני עף. אני לא מטוס.
Yo, what up everyone? It's your boy, the Crackhead, wishing you all a wonderful evening. I didn't want to report this news, but I have to do it now because this crackhead, Olaoluwa Adebayo, decided to tag me on a post he saw about the wildfire that is raging in Jerusalem. Maybe by now they have handled that fire. I'm not current, and I don't want to go into that. The reason I didn't want to talk about this is because I am not a weather reporter. I don't deal with fires. But when it comes to war and when it comes to violence, that's where you can find me, because first of all, I'm an analyst. I do not know how to analyze fires, because if truth be told, Israel is not the first country that has experienced wildfires. And where I saw this post, where Olaoluwa Adebayo tagged me on this post, I saw the comments and they were very, very hilarious. People were like saying praise to Allah. Some people were like saying that's karma. Some people were like saying that that is God punishing Israel, as in what the F? Is Israel the first country that has been enraged or happened to have had wildfire? Recently, was it 2 months ago or even last month, it happened in California. Wildfires happened in Australia. So was that an act of God? Even though some people, some Christians, were attributing that of California to the judgment of God. But anyways, let's move on. Let me explain to you, the reason for this fire. And also, that's one of the reasons today's Independence Day was not so joyful. And I did explain in the video that most of the pilots were busy, most of them in Gaza, and most of them trying to fight and handle this raging fire. This fire started 2 days ago. Although the police have reported that 3 persons have been arrested in connection to arson, in connection to whether they were the ones that directly started this fire or not, but 3 people have been arrested in connection to this. For the past 2 days, there has been strong winds and very hot weather in Israel, especially yesterday. The wind that blew yesterday, even with my helmet and my visor of the helmet on, I do not know how it happened that dust happened to, get into my eyes, even with my visor of the helmet on. That's how, serious the wind that we experienced here in Israel yesterday was. And of course, when a place is dry, any small ignition, a little ignition with wind and heat can cause fire. So again, whether it is these 3 people that the police have reported that are in connection to this wildfire or not, however, one thing you should understand is that there was great wind here, very strong winds here in Israel, and as of yesterday, Israel was very hot. The temperature was very hot. So when you go about on social media where you see this news or where you see this post, you think that is as a result of God's punishment to Israel. That's why this fire is raging, brothers and sisters. It is not true. It's not as a result of God's punishment. Okay, it is nature. Some people might have had a hand in this. Okay, and even if it is these 3 people that directly cause this fire, it's still not a punishment, because at the end of the day, whether Israel likes it or not, Hamas or their enemies are still going to be waging war against Israel. And apart from that, also in East Jerusalem, a 19-year-old boy posted on social media in support of the wildfire. And of course, when you post such a things, you are meant to be arrested. Because how can you rejoice when something like this, just like you heard that, there is a murder somewhere, and then you post something, yeah, that's good for him. No, that's wrong. So if this 19-year-old boy was arrested because of what he posted as a result of this fire or because of this fire, then that was wrong. So he should be questioned. And those 3 people that were arrested, in connection to arson, they also should be investigated and questioned. There's nothing wrong in that. Okay, wildfires have happened in other countries. Israel is not the first country that have experienced wildfires, and it will never be the last country that will experience wildfires. In fact, since I came to Israel, to me, this is the first time. Maybe that's happened since I came to Israel in 2010, but this is the first time I've heard as in this big of a wildfire in Israel, in Jerusalem. But this is not as a result of God punishing Israel. It's not as a result of karma. Because if that is the case, then you will see the wildfire in Australia, God punished Australia. The wildfire in California, God punished California. Or the floods that happened in Nigeria, or even that NIMEC still predicted that there's going to be floods in Nigeria. It means it's as a punishment from God. Every natural disaster, let's take it that way, is a punishment from God. His karma is retribution for what humans have done to the planet. So let's just summarize it that way. It could have been an accident by these 3 guys, that were arrested, because this is why, when you are in a dry area, especially if you're in a forest and you're smoking, this cigarette, you finish smoking and you just drop it on that forest ground where there are dry grasses, dry sticks, that could catch fire. Like I said, it could have been a small ignition that caused this ravaging fire. But in the end, we believe that it's going to be handled because the firefighters, pilots, they are working hard in order to quench this fire. And also some parts of Jerusalem Road also have been opened for the public to commute. But it was very serious as of yesterday morning. But now I think it's not that serious anymore. And I pray and I believe that in the end, this is going to be taken care of. So those of you who love Israel, do not fret, do not worry. Everything is under control. It's your boy, the Crackhead, wishing you all a wonderful night. Bye for now.